Okay, we're here with
Jack from Plume Network.
All right, so I have some few questions for you, brother.
Sure.
So how do you define RWAs in the context of crypto and DeFi?
Yeah, so real world assets is really anything that connects value outside of crypto, off-chain value, to the actual blockchain itself, rather than just participating in this like recursive, speculative environment that is typically crypto.
Awesome. Now, what are the biggest opportunities for RWAs and crypto today?
Yeah, I mean, bringing any kind of new off-chain asset on-chain, RWAs really provide a lot of advantages with like increased composability and new kinds of asset pairs, and just making finance really easy, and also providing accessibility to types of investments that are not historically very accessible for retail investors. So things like private market deals, private credit. Yeah, I think those are probably going to be some really and then esoteric assets as well, right? Like we have like everything from high yield corporate bonds to like tokenized durian farms and camel ranches and stuff on Plume. We've got everything, right? So yeah.
Yeah, awesome to hear that. Now, what do you think are the challenges these projects face when tokenizing real-world assets?
Yeah, so I think two big ones, right? First off, it's really difficult to differentiate yourself because there's so many people bringing high quality assets on chain. And then second, ensuring that you have a team that is very high quality and actually knows what they're doing with that type of asset, right? Like you can't have a team that's never worked in private credit before trying to originate private credit on chain. You're going to have massive defaults. So you have to make sure the team that is actually tokenizing the stuff, understands how to do that. And also on the go-to-market side, right? RWAs, crypto in general, all about distribution. So you have to understand both the Web 2 and the Web 3 side, which is a challenge. You have to kind of be that double threat, and that's what, frankly, a lot of founders struggle with the most.
Exactly. Now, how do you think the importance of regulation for these RWAs in the future?
Regulation is incredibly important. We need regulatory frameworks that are simultaneously flexible enough to allow for innovation rather than stifling it, and that create vague terms that are still have some kind of enforceability. And at the same time, there are certain things that we really need to give strong definitions to, right? Like a stablecoin, that needs to have a very specific definition, or stablecoin / synthetic dollar, whatever you want to call it. The legal definition for that needs to be something that has very liquid assets as the underlying assets, so that it's immediately liquidatable, right? If you don't have that, it's not a stablecoin. So it's effectively false advertising, and you're creating systemic risk. So point being, that's one example. Point being, some things need to be very specifically defined, and other things need to be very broadly defined so that we don't stifle innovation.
It's awesome. Final question. How do you see RWAs reshaping traditional finance in the next 5 years?
There's two big benefits to crypto, right? Not just RWAs, but it's increased accessibility and increased liquidity, which is a result of that increased accessibility, right? So I think we're going to see the convergence of private and public markets, and that's going to happen on chain. We're going to see a lot more financial empowerment as people have the ability to find and much more easily find and access opportunities that they couldn't access, just a few years ago or even today, right? And that's the space is evolving very quickly. There's a lot of very cool stuff going on, and we're going to see a lot more personal empowerment with finance moving forward.
Fantastic, very insightful. May we ask about Plume Network? What can we expect from that?
Plume Network is a L1 blockchain purpose-built for RWAs. We make it really easy for people to bring new assets on chain, distribute those assets. We build a DeFi ecosystem around those assets, which helps with the distribution, and also helps turn each of these assets into a building block and part of a larger ecosystem, so that so that people can actually have a significantly more utility for these assets. You can collateralize them. You can get access to them through an index like Yield Vault, all kinds of stuff, right? And then we also have a compliance layer that allows for both retail and institutions to play together in the same sphere. So we're opening up the walled garden.
Awesome. Now, where do we find you in the social media accounts you have?
Yeah, so Plume Network, you can find all our information on plumenetwork.xyz. Myself, you can find me at Jack Ratko, JACKRATKO_. That's my Twitter handle. And then you can find Plume Network on Twitter as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much, man.
Thanks, sir.
Nice to have you.
Have a good one.